Good evening, everyone. Okay, so napanood niyo po ba na mabuti yung video? Try to imagine how was Korea before. And then, that was way back 1950, no? 1950, so almost 60 years ago from now. So can you imagine if how was Korea at that time? All right. Alright, I just set up the live. Okay, pasensya na po kayo for waiting. No, I'm the one who is doing the technical. I'm the one who is teaching. So please understand for a little bit delay. Okay lang po ba yun? Alright, so naririnig niyo po ba ako na mabuti? Yes. So for today, before po tayo mag-start ng our class, gusto ko po na sana lahat po kayo malaman ninyo kung ano po yung naging background or history ng Korea. So I could see that there are still a lot of our students na hindi pa po naka-open yung mga cameras natin. Everyone, I would really love to see all of your beautiful faces. But of course, kung hindi po pwede, okay lang din. But if it's possible, kung pwede po, much better if you can show your beautiful faces para nakikita po natin yung isa't isa. Alright? You know, everybody, all of us, we all know about Korea. We love Korea, we love the language, we love the, yung trend, K-pop, everything. Pero meron po tayong isang bagay na na-miss. That's why here in our class, hindi po yung language lang yung pag-aaralan natin. I want you to learn full set. Okay, parang package, no? Hindi lang po isa, hindi lang dalawa, kundi tatlo, no? More than the language. Parang 3-in-1, copy ko. Okay? Mahilig po ba kayo sa kape? So, yes, it is really important for you to know how and why. What is the secret? How Korea was able to break out from the poverty. Nakita niyo po ba yung video kanina? Okay, everyone, nakita niyo po ba yung video? Taas ang kamay. Alright. So, wait lang po ha. Naka-live po tayo ngayon sa Facebook and YouTube. Pwede po kayong present for our attendance before we start, and then pwede po nating tingnan if our live is going well, no? Para po sa mga hindi makapasok sa ating Zoom, lahat po kayo ay nakakasabay sa ating class. Okay lang po ba yung live natin for today? Nakakasunod po ba lahat yung mga wala po sa Zoom class po natin? Alright. I think hindi po yata. Alright. Wait lang po ha. While I'm fixing the Zoom. Para po sa mga hindi po nakakapasok sa ating live. Alright, ganito na lang po tayo ha. Okay, so let's start. Let's begin. Doon po sa mga naka-live sa atin, baka po hindi nyo po masundan na mabuti yung class po natin kasi hindi po nakikita yung PPT dito. Anyway, I hope that we are going to record this class. So sa mga hindi po makakasunod sa ating class, we will be uploading this in our Facebook. Anyway, let's go back to our topic. No? So it's really important for you to know ano yung secret. Kasi yung alam lang po natin is, wow, Korea mayaman. Wow, Korea is very progressive country. But hindi po natin alam what's the story behind of this success. Tama po ba? Alam niyo po ba kung bakit naging maunlad yung Korea? For example, yung pinaka-trend po natin ngayon, from the big hit entertainment management, yung mga BTS, there is a lot of boy band group na naging sobrang trending around the world. Pero yung alam lang po natin is, they are famous, they are good in singing, in dancing. Pero yung hindi po natin alam, yung story. Ngayon, I want you to know. Kasi Korea is very small. Napakalit lang po ng Korea, but within a short period of time, they were able to, recover. No? Naging maunlad po sila ulit. So, although in this time, I could not share everything, but a little introduction for you. Okay po ba yun? Alright, so let's continue. Nakikita niyo po ba tong picture na ito? Everyone, nakikita niyo? Ito po ay yung Malacanang ng Korea. Okay. Sa Korea, we call it Blue House. Alright. Sa US, we call it White House. Sa Philippines, hindi ko po alam kung anong house, basta Malacanang, okay? Ito po yung Malacanang ng Korea. But look at the picture. Wala po kayong makikitang kahit anumang building, lahat bagsak. Do you know why? Because for 36 years, Korea was colonized by Japan. But right after that war, right after the colonization of Japanese, Korea had internal war. Ibig sabihin, between South and North. Marami pong nagtataka, bakit po divided yung South and North? Okay? It's because of the internal war. No? At that time, we had 3 years war. And within 3 years, 3 billion people died. Try to think and try to imagine. Mga Koreano nag-aaway sa isa't isa. So, wala pong parang patag, no? Parang patag, wala po kayong makikitang kahit anumang building, infrastructure because of the war. And then at that time, yung GDP, no? Yung per capita income nila, ibig sabihin hindi lang yung pang sarili kundi yung buong bansa. Yung kita ng buong bansa, yung income nila is only $79, year 1960. Try to imagine, at that time, Korea was one of the poorest country in Asia. But look at now, sobrang naging maunlad na po ng Korea. And Korea is one of the strongest economy in the world. They are in top 10, no? So, what's the secret? Kanina nakita po natin yung video, right? Nakita po natin sa video, sobrang mahirap. Nakita nyo ba yung mga itsura ng mga Korean? Hindi po sila mukhang mga Korean, no? Mukha po mga pulubi. That was the image of Korea way back 1950, 1960. Kaya po for the Koreans, history means a lot. Sobrang malaki because there is no, in this world, sa buong mundo, wala pong katulad ng Korea na naging maunlad ng sobrang bilis. Kilala niyo po ba si General MacArthur? Sikat po ba siya sa inyo? Sikat? Yes. Sa Korea din po, he is very famous. Kasi he was one of the parang person who fought for the freedom of Korean. But do you know, even General MacArthur, he said that even after 100 years, mahirap daw pong bumangon ang Korea. Ibig sabihin, muling bumalik ng normal ang bansang Korea. But wala pang 100 years, only 50 years, naging sobrang maunlad na ng Korea. Naintindihan niyo po ba? So what's the secret? Ngayon, I'm gonna share it with you. Although this is not the, ito yung pinaka-reason. There are many factors, but one of them is this one. Sino pong mahilig sa mga coffee? I like coffee. So, merong black coffee, merong mixed coffee, no? Yung Korea po ay wala po kaming kape. Kahit wala po kaming kape, but they are exporting coffee. Isn't it amazing? And then, petroleum, oil. Wala po kaming oil, pero we are exporting oil. Paano kaya nangyari yun? Okay, let me continue. It's because of one's person leadership. Okay, kung makikita nyo po, this was after the war. Nagkakaroon po ng construction. Nakikita nyo po yung dalawang butas dito. Ito po yung tunnel. Nakakita na po kayo ng tunnel? Yes. Pagka pumunta po kayo dito sa Korea, kasi ang Korea po ay, ano pong tawag dun sa yung maraming mga bundok, bulubundukin. Maraming bundok, okay. Ang Korea po ay almost 70% ay mountain. Okay, konti lang po yung patag. That's why if you're going to another city, dahil maraming mga bundok, dati yung transportation is ikot sila ng ikot dun sa bundok. Pero pagka ganun, it takes so much time. That's why what they did is binubutas nila lahat ng mga mountain. Sa Baguio, when I went to Baguio, sobrang nakakahilo kasi, 'di ba? Ikot ng ikot dun sa bundok. Tama po ba? Pero dito sa Korea, lahat binubutas po nila yung tunnel. So, this is a construction of a tunnel. And then, road widening. Yes. And then, marami pong mga, ano pong tawag dito? Container sa Korea. Okay. Because they are one of the top shipping company and exporting. That's why there are so many tawag dito, container. Ewan ko kung ano po yung laman ng mga container, no? But in Korea, we have many shipping company. Anyway, why and how? Starting from the coffee, petroleum, mga trading, mga exporting. Paano kaya yung Korea nagawa nila ng ganito? No? Aren't you curious? Ni minsan hindi nyo ba tinanong, bakit kaya ang Korea successful? Bakit kaya ang Korea mayaman? Hindi lang po kasi basta-basta isang tulog mo, isang paggising mo, mayaman na kagad. Hindi po ganoon. There is a process. No? So, I would like to share with you the history at the same time, how. I could say, and many of the Koreans, they consider our late former president, Park Chung-hee. In English, his name is Park Chung-hee. So after this class, you may search about his name. Sa Korea po he is one of the parang ikinagagalang na tao. Parang admire, no? One of the admire and parang sobrang malaki yung respect nila. Because of him, malaki po yung naging turning point ng Korea. Okay, so we can say na lahat po ng mga naging factors why Korea became progressive country is because of him. Now, meron po kasing isang motto. And that motto was, for a better life, we can do. In Korean, medyo malit po yung text na nakasulat dito. Everyone, can we repeat after me? Although, no need to open your mic, just repeat after me. For a better life, we can do. In Korean, 잘 살아보세, 우리도 할 수 있다. Okay, medyo mahaba pang advanced na po yung klase na to. So, ibig sabihin, 잘 살아보세 is, let's live well. Okay, mabuhay tayo ng mayaman. Mabuhay tayo ng maunlad, masagana. Okay? We can do, tayo din ay kaya natin. Okay. Let's continue. So that was one of the motto. But do you know, ito pong motto niya is actually galing po sa isang lyrics ng song. Soon, if I have time, I'm going to share you kung ano po yung song na yun. Ngayon, one of his word was, ito po. Nakikita niyo po ba yung map? Ano pong itsura? Ito po yung map ng Korea. Map ng Korea. Pero, when we were colonized by the Japanese, they're always telling us that
Kurangi.
ang Korea ay parang rabbit. Mukha po bang rabbit yung map of Korea? Okay, yung map of Korea. Tingnan niyo po. Mukha po bang rabbit? Yes. That's why, when the Japanese colonized Koreans, even after the war, they're always telling to Koreans, "Oy, kayo mga Koreano, kayo ay rabbit, kayo ay duwag, kayo ay..." Ano ba yan? Ano ba yung character ng rabbit? Kayo ay maliit, kayo ay duwag. They're always telling us like this. That's why Koreans are thinking, siguro, nga pala, kami ay duwag kami, kami ay rabbit kami, maliit kami, duwag kami. That's why they cannot say anything. But do you know, when President Park became the president, he said a while ago, di ba? Tayo rin mabuhay ng masagana. We can do it. Let's live a better life. We can do it. And what he said was, tayo ay hindi rabbit. Look at the map of Korea. Hindi siya mukhang rabbit, kundi mukhang, ano pa yung nasa tabi niya? Tiger. Mukhang tiger. Naintindihan niyo po ba? What he did was mind transformation. Okay? Mind reformation. For a long time, Korea were thinking, kami ay rabbit, kami ay duwag, we cannot do anything. That's why they live with that kind of mindset. Kaya even if they were given an opportunity, kahit na meron silang chance, even if there is a way for them to stand up, no? But because of the mind that, we are weak, sige, slave na lang tayo. You know, I also personally experienced when I was in the Philippines, because of the long colonization of the Spaniards, di ba marami pong mga culture or yung mindset na na-adapt po ng mga Filipino. Hindi ko pa alam kung totoo po ito. Hindi ko rin po nila lahat. This is just based on my experience. Alam niyo po yung Juan Tamad? Actually, this is also not really the culture of the Filipino. No, parang na-adapt lang po nila. So, ano po yung isip nila? Mga Pilipino tamad. Pero kung tutusin, hindi po, syempre meron pong tamad, pero pag pumunta po kayo sa probinsya, anong oras pa nagigising yung mga mga magsasaka? They wake up early in the morning, di ba? Before the sunrise. Kasi di ba, mainit sa Philippines. Ayun, may 3 a.m. daw, okay? 4 a.m. Maaga sila nagigising, di ba? They are very industrious and then they are really hardworking. But because of the colonization mindset, kayo, duwag kayo, rabbit kayo. Ganun din po yung naging case ng Korean. Do you understand? But what President Park did is, no, he fought for that mindset. You are not rabbit. You are, ano po? All together, you are tiger. You can do it. Kanina, I cannot do it. But after the mind reformation, you can do it. Naintindihan niyo po ba? That's why now you are brave. You are strong. You can conquer. You can fight. You can do it. That was the very first step what President Park did before he do any other thing. Let's see what happened, no? One of his project was the passion. No? The passion to break out the poverty. Everyone, listen carefully. This is not just a simple story. Alam po ninyo, kahit saan po kayo pumasok sa YouTube, wala pong nag-explain ng ganito. So, listen carefully. This is really not only educational, this is really one of the turning point in our life, not only in our life, but also in our country. Someday, not only in our class, not only in our Korean class, but I would like to share in the whole Philippines how Korea was able to, became progressive. Kasi even Philippines, you can do it. We can do it. No? Tayo, lagi natin sasabi, we want change, we want change. But for the long time, di ba, hindi pa natin nakakamtan yung tunay na pagbabago. Now, let me share this one. His project was, can we read, ano po yung nakasulat sa baba? Saemaul undong. Okay, yung mga sinasabi ko, next week, assignment nyo po yan, so you have to take note very well. Take note, okay? Saemaul undong. Ibig sabihin po ng Saemaul is, se. What is se? There are two kinds of meaning of se. One is bird. But the meaning here is se meaning new, bago. Maul is village. Maul, that is the word or term that we used before. Pero nowadays, para po siyang barangay. Okay? So, isipin niyo yung Maul sa Philippines, it's like barangay. Okay po ba? So, new village movement, in Korean, we call it Saemaul undong. Ang undong, ibig sabihin is workout. Okay? Mga workout. Pero yung another meaning ng undong is movement. Okay? Diba, every time na there is a new president-elect or parang election ng mga politician, meron silang mga movement, diba? Yung mga project proposal, okay, if I became the president, if I became this leader, ito yung mga ipropose nating project, something like this. At that time, okay, don't think that this is complicated. This is very simple. What I want to point out is only mind reformation. Okay? So with this project, paano niya ba to na-implement? Okay. Tingnan po natin ha. Meron pong tatlong motto. One is, yung spirit nila ha. Spirit, ibig sabihin yung mindset. In Tagalog, diwa. Okay? Meron silang tatlong klaseng diwa. One is diligence, self-help, cooperation. Feeling ko, meron din ganitong klaseng program in the Philippines which is like parang bayanihan program. Tama po ba? Bayanihan program. I don't know if until now, meron pang ganito mga program. Pero tuloy po natin ha. Okay. Tingnan nyo po sa screen. Ito pong Saemaul Undong with these three spirit, ano ba yung ginawa nila? I'm not going to explain everything because we do not have enough time. Every one family. Okay, halimbawa, we are with Sophia Rachel. Sa family ni Sophia, there should be one representative in one barangay. So let's say in one barangay, there is 100 family. Then in every one family, there should be one representative who will be joining this Saemaul Undong. But do you know, this was not mandatory. This is only voluntary. And then, because this is voluntary, pagka sinabi mong volunteer, voluntary, merong kapalit o wala?
Wala. None.
Alright. So, sa sa ating technical stuff, pwede po bang ako daw po yung screen share kasi hindi daw po ako nakikita eh. Sa mga nanonood po sa live natin. Okay. Anyway, let me continue. Sorry for interrupting our class. So, going back to the story, what they did is, they required one family, one representative in one family as a voluntary work. What they did is, katulad po na nakikita nyo dito sa screen, replacement ng mga roof, yung mga sirang mga bubong, expansion ng mga roads, road widening, construction ng mga bridge. Kasi ang Korea din po ay marami po mga island. And then, mga common facilities. Ano po ba yung mga common facilities? Yung mga nakikita po natin sa mga barangay, mga roads, mga lights. Yung mga ganitong simpleng facilities. Kasi nga, di ba, after ng war, wala pong kahit anumang infrastructure. Wala pong mga roads, wala pong mga infrastructure. So, parang remodeling. Hindi ko po alam yung tamang term, no? Parang yung mga nasirang mga buildings, parang they are rebuilding. Binibuild po nila ulit. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Yes. But only voluntary. With the program of Saemaul Undong. And then all of the expenses galing po sa government. And then, because of this, yung infrastructure ng Korea was naitayo po nila ng muli. So, how come? It's because of first, the leadership. Second is because of the strong administrative. So, kahit marami mga naging against with his leadership, but still, they were able to implement and close cooperation between government and communities. Pagka sinabi natin communities, kayo po, for example, I am the government, you are my student, you are the community. So sabihin ko, okay, in our Korean class, let's do this. So lahat po ng mga students natin, you are very cooperative. Okay, lagi kayo tumutulong sa akin. Pagka sinabi ko, sige, gawin natin to. Lahat kayo, sige, gawin natin to. If we say, okay, our class, let's move in, Friday? Okay, Friday tayo. Okay, next week tayo. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Okay, let's have event tayo. So ganito po yung naging system. Naintindihan niyo po ba? And then, effective strategies. Okay. All right. So, sa Facebook, hindi pa rin po yata nakikita yung full screen po natin. Okay. I don't know if how we can turn this into... Hindi po ba ako yung pwedeng ma-share lang sa live class po natin? Okay. I think it's already okay in our live. Okay na po ba? So, yes, thank you so much. So, nag-enjoy po ba kayo sa ating short introduction of Korean history, how Korea became one of the strongest economy and strongest country? Alam po ninyo, patikim lang yun sobrang bitin. No? There are so many things that I would like to share with you. Pero syempre, we have to go with our class also. So, if you're going to arrange the whole story, what President Park did was, syempre marami. But in order to do that, there should be a strong leadership wherein they can spark and change the mind of each and everyone. It is not from the action first, but it is first in our mind. So when we think, we can do it, we are tiger. So everybody, they had hope in their heart. Ano ba yun, na-encourage sila, no? So like in our Korean class, I don't know if maybe some of you are thinking, hindi ako matalino Ako, slow kasi ako Hindi ako makasunod sa klase. No! You are tiger. You can do it. Like, I am motivating, no? So even if you look at to yourself na you are not competent in learning Korean and you think that, maybe hindi ako pwede. Sige, ano na lang ako. Kahit di ko maintindihan, pass na lang ako. Or maybe in the middle of our class, bakit ganyan yung natin? Sige, next time na lang. Di ko na kaya. Maybe some of you can think like this, but the reason why I'm sharing this history is, this is all about our mind. We have to start with our mind, with our heart, so that we can turn it into our action. Everyone, do you agree with that? Alright, so you are very cooperative, no? Pagkasabi ko ganyan kayo lahat. Okay. So, all over the world, lahat po ng mga scientists who is studying economy, dito po sila nagre-research sa Korea. Do you know that? Meron po kaming mga malalaki mga research center. They are studying until now, paano? How? Have you ever heard the word how? Hindi yung how to be you How Korea naging successful, no? Kaya po yung mga scientist, mga researcher, they are coming here in Korea just to study. What's the secret? Kayo, kahit di na kayo pumunta dito sa Korea, okay, I already showed you the first part, no, yung secret, how Korea became one of the powerful. So in our Korean class also, you are not rabbit. Do you understand, everyone? Hindi po kayo rabbit. You are what? Tiger. You can do it. No? So let's start first in changing our mind. So everyone, let's start our Korean class. Pasensya na po ang haba ng introduction natin, but I hope all of those time became very meaningful and worth it. Okay? So, going back to our class. Okay. Naalala niyo po ba yung naging class po natin last week? Nagbigay po ako ng 2 assignment sa ating group. Pero sa totoo, yung assignment na binigay ko po is hindi lang po isa, hindi lang 2. Actually, dapat 4. Pero baka ma-pressure daw, so 2 muna. Okay? Nakita niyo po ba yung 2 assignment na binigay ko po sa inyo? Okay. Kasi po, parang kalahati lang po yung gumawa ng assignment No? So, don't worry. Kahit hindi nyo po nagawa yung assignment, after this class, okay lang kahit late. Okay? It's okay to be late than to be never. Okay? So, kung hindi nyo po nagawa yung assignment natin, you can check in our group chat or dun sa ating group page. We already announced all of our assignment. Yung writing po ng ating Korean character and then following the right pattern. Last time, pinag-aralan po natin 10 vowels and 11 consonant. Now, 14 consonant. Now, we will be studying compound consonant, and then double, we can say double, no? Double consonant and then compound vowels. So mag-start po tayo sa vowels. Okay po ba? Lahat po ng ating class will be series. Kaya kung hindi po kayo naka-attend last week, baka hindi nyo po maintindihan, but I will try my best for all of you na ma-catch up po yung class po natin. So, let's start with vowels. If you still remember, ang unang pagsusulat po natin is mauna sino? Yung consonant or yung vowel? It should be consonant. Tama po ba? Okay. You can show it through your screen. Katulad po ni Marites, okay? She is showing to me. C, okay? Consonant. Para po kasi nasa ano tayo, live class po tayo para po meron po tayong interaction, no? So, meron po tayong 10 vowels, but the first thing that we write when we are constructing, when we are combining consonant and vowels, mauna si consonant. But this time, pag-aaralan muna natin si compound vowels. Ang compound po, ibig sabihin ng compound, combination ng dalawa. Kung naging madali po sa inyo yung vowels, mas madali po ito. Okay po ba? Hindi ko na po isusulat dito yung pinag-aralan natin last week kasi kanina nakita nyo rin po sa ating screen. So, we have nakikita nyo po ba ng mabuti? Okay. Meron tayong actually, I prepare two kind of class. One is here in whiteboard and one is in PPT. But later, what I discovered is, mas maganda pagka sa whiteboard. Kasi, every time we write, what we have to practice is yung tamang pagsusulat. So, if I'm going to write this in the whiteboard, tingnan nyo po na mabuti kung saan po yung stroke. No? Kung saan po ako nag-start. Kasi po, nakita ko po sa mga ibang elementary student dito po sa Korea, meron po sa kanila na hindi pa rin marunong hanggang ngayon yung tamang pagsusulat. Pagka ganun po ang mangyayari, kayo rin po, even if you know how to write, soon, pagka mali po yung pattern, hindi po kayo, basta mali po yun. No? Wala naman po masama kung mali po yung pattern, pero hindi po siya tama. Okay? So, mas maganda, sa umpisa pa lang, tama po yung pinag-aaralan natin. Okay? Ngayon, ito munang 4 yung pag-aaralan po natin. Meron po tayong total ng 11. No? Dahan-dahan lang konti-konti. Baka pag sinulat ko lahat, mabigla, dami naman ng compound. Okay, ito muna. So, ito po ay, ito po yung pagkabigkas. No? This is how we pronounce. Ito po ay walang pangalan. Kung ano po yung pagkabigkas, yun po yung pangalan. Unlike in consonant, meron po siyang pangalan. Natatandaan niyo po ba yung sinabi ko last week? Meron pong pagkabigkas, no? Meron pong pangalan. Sa vowels, isa lang yon. Yung pagkabigkas, yun yung pangalan. Pero sa consonant, iba po yung pronunciation niya and then yung pangalan niya. Okay? So, this is E. This is E. Ay, parehas. Bakit ganun? Magkaiba yung spelling. Okay, mamaya. Explain ko. Baka po meron magtanong, bakit ganun? Next is Ye. Next is Ye. Ay, parehas na naman. Bakit ganun? Okay, explain ko rin po. So, explain ko muna kung bakit siya naging compound. Okay? Para po sa susunod po nating mga compound, magiging madali po. Naka-mirror daw po yung sa live. Wait lang po ha. Okay. Salamat po. Buti na lang nakikita ko po dito sa Facebook and yung YouTube. Okay. Okay naman po sa inyo. Hindi po baligtad, di ba? Okay. So, let's continue. Kung natatandaan nyo po, ito muna po tayo ha. Kung natatandaan nyo, ito pong dalawa is O plus E. Naging E. Nakikita niyo po ba? You should know why this compound naging ganito. Kasi po sa susunod, when you are writing, kaysa i-memorize niyo po yung compound, mas madali pong kung alam niyo po kung paano po siya naging compound. So, ito pong E, from O plus E, naging E. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Ganun din po sa E natin, yung isa pang E. Yung isa pang E natin is, parehas lang. From A plus E, naging E. Naintindihan niyo po ba? So, every time na nakakita po kayo ng vowels na mas maraming sa isang character, compound po yon. All you have to analyze is paano siya naging compound. Kung ma-practice nyo po yun na mabuti, when you are going to write na, okay, mas magiging mabilis po yung pagsusulat ninyo. Hindi po ibig sabihin yung speed ng pagsusulat ha. Ang ibig sabihin po is when you are practicing writing, this is more faster, more convenient, mas madali po sa inyo. That's why I'm explaining paano siya naging compound. Okay po ba? Now, the other one. Ito rin po is yo plus E. Ay, sorry. Walang plus. Plus E equals ye. Naintindihan po? Next, tingnan po natin. Ito po, saan po siya galing? Yeah. Plus E. Naging yeah. Okay po ba? Nakakasunod po kayo? Okay, don't worry. Kung hindi nyo po masulat lahat ng sinusulat ko dito, we'll be giving you the file. But I hope whenever I'm writing, you follow the same. Kasi po, you can really practice a lot when you are writing. No? Now, meron po akong tip. Tip ulit, no? Okay, tip para po sa madaling memorization. Gusto niyo po ba ng tip? Tingnan po natin ng mabuti. Ye. Parehas po siyang pronunciation. Tama po ba? Sir, bakit po ganun? Iba po yung spelling nila, pero parehas yung pronunciation. Ay, nakakalito naman. Yes, nakakalito pagka hindi nyo po alam. Bakit ba siya ganun? It's about the pluralization. Okay? Kung sa English, meron po tayong singular and plural. In Korean din, meron po tayong ganong system. Pero syempre, hindi ko muna explain ngayon. Baka po malito po kayo. This is for our intermediate and advanced class. Tayo po ay sa basic pa lang po. So, sir, bakit ganyan? Bagal-bagal naman magturo. Ito po ay para po sa lahat. Para po tayo ay makasunod. Ngayon, ito po, bakit ganyan? Parehas din. Ganun din po. Ay plural and singular. Okay po ba? Mostly, saan po siya nagiging na-apply? Katulad po ng, kunyari, city and then Seoul. City is general, di ba? Pero Seoul is, isa lang yung Seoul. No? Kaya ano po yung Seoul? Seoul is singular. Ay, tama po ba? Baka mali po yung sinasabi ko. Tama po ba? Singular is yung Seoul, di ba? Tama po ba yung sinasabi ko? Naintindihan niyo po ba? When we are pertaining to only one, isa ka lang. No? Doon po natin nagagamit yung pagkamaramihan, E. Iba po yung pronunciation, parehas yung pronunciation niya, iba po yung spelling. For what reason? For us, na malaman po natin, isa lang pala yung tinutukoy niyan. Or, pang general pala yung tinutukoy niya. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Korean class is general, but Korean class with Cho PH is only me. Parang ganito. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Okay. Now, balik po tayo dun sa sinabi ko kanina. No? Tip, para po sa madaling memorization. Tingnan niyo po na mabuti yung mga character, ha? Etong at saka ito, magkamukha po sila o hindi? Magkamukha, di ba? Ang pinagkaiba niya is meron po tayong isang line. Naintindihan niyo po ba? If you still remember what I've said last week, every time na nadadagdagan ng isang line, ano pong dinadagdag natin? Y. Very good. Okay? Ganun din po dito. Tingnan nyo po ha. Nadagdagan ng isang line, naging ye. Okay po? So, malinaw naman po dito. Malinaw. Okay. Ngayon, ito lang po yung dapat nyo malaman. Lahat po ng compound natin, same concept. Okay? Ganito po natin siya kino-combine yung dalawang vowels. Okay? Hindi po siya panibagong character, ha? Hindi po yun panibagong character. We just combine two vowels. So, you don't have to memorize. All you have to know is, ganito pala siya pinagdikit, pinagdugtong. Okay po ba? Okay, so, let me write the other. Yung 11, ano po natin? Vowels. Meron tayong wow. Okay, everyone. Since na-explain ko na po kanina lahat ng concept, hindi ko na po ipapakita ulit dito kung paano po natin dinudugtong, ha? So, ye. Ito po kanina ang nasa taas, pinag-aralan po natin kanina, di ba? Now, let's look at this. Ito po ay we. Ito po ay we. Ito po ay sir, bakit ang daming we? Okay. Dahil po sa hindi naman po ito about sa pluralization. We only have very few characters. That's why we made different combination of vowels para po mabigyan po namin ng iba't ibang vocabulary. So even if there is a same pronunciation, pero nag-iiba po yung meaning depending sa spelling. Kaya po meron po tayong iba't ibang we. Soon, okay, when we try to practice mga vocabularies and sentences, that is the time that you will understand how we use these vowels. Okay, let's go back. This one is This one is we. Wa. Wo. Okay? Ngayon, i-explain ko po kung paano po siya nadugtong. Ito po is, ano po yan? O. Ito po, I. So, O. From the ano po to ha? From the basic vowels, no? Ganito po natin siya pinagdugtong. Same with this. O. Pero ito pong saan galing to? Dito po kanina, di ba? Okay. Kaya po naging O plus E is we. Try to think, paano siya naging we? From O plus E. Try po nating idugtong yung dalawang pronunciation, no? O, E. Dahan-dahan lang, ha? O, E. O, E. Bilisan po natin ng konti. O, E, O, E, O, E, O, E, O, E, O, E, we. Okay? This is not only combination of the vowels, but when you combine both, mostly, ganun din po yung nagiging pronunciation. Let's go back. We. U. Tama po ba? E. We. U. E. U. E. We. Okay? Next, we pronounce this as, ito po ay U plus I. U, I, U, I, U, I, U, I. Hirap naman, ha? Uy, 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 uy. 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 Hindi uy. Ha? Uy. Okay. Medyo mahirap po i-pronounce, but don't worry. We will practice as our assignment. Soon, ibibigay ko po yung tawag dito, yung recorded sound neto, ha? Uy. But soon, ito pong uy, there are times na ginagamit po natin siya as Kailan? Okay. Basic pa lang po tayo, kaya hindi ko muna po sasabihin ngayon, ha? But I just, ini-inform ko lang po kayo na meron pong ganitong konting pagbabago. Okay? Let's go back. Ito po ay U plus I. We. Ano po yung we? As in we, tayo. U-i. Uwi. 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 Oh, uwi na daw kayo. Uwi. We. We. Okay po ba? Next. O. A. O plus A. Tama po ba? O. A. O. A. O. Wa. O. Wa. 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 Okay? Wa. Next. U. O. U. O. U. O. Okay? U, O, U, O, Wo, Wo, Wo. Okay? Ganito po siya naging na-combine. Okay. Madali po ba o mahirap? Sino pong nagsasabing mahirap? 1. Hindi, pakita nyo kamay. 1. Madali lang. 2. Okay, 2. Ibig sabihin yung walang sign, pang 3 kayo. Wala pong 3 sa atin 1 and 2 lang. Okay. There are some students na meron pong basic background with regards with Korean character. Pero meron din po tayong mga student na hindi pa masyadong alam. Pero another one, i-explain ko rin po sa inyo para mas maging madali ang compound. No? I-explain ko po sa inyo ulit yung compound. Kung bakit siya na-add ng ganyan. Okay? Paano siya na-form ng ganyan. Nakita nyo na po kanina, di ba? Sinulat nyo po ba lahat ng pinakita ko? Okay? Ngayon, bago nyo po siya i-practice, ipapakita ko po siya ulit paano siya na-combine. Kanina pinakita ko lang na-combine siya. Pero paano? How? Okay. Hindi po how to be you, ha? How we are going to combine. Naalala nyo po ba yung pattern na tinuro ko po sa inyo? Meron po tayong 5 vowels na nakatayo. 5 vowels na nakahiga. Natatandaan nyo po ba? Kung natatandaan nyo po yon, madali lang po mag-combine ng compound vowels. Okay, let's check. Meron po tayong tama po ba? Bakit naging ganyan yung pag-combination? Kasi tingnan nyo po, O. Nakahiga o hindi? Nakahiga. So, dito siya sa baba. Pero yung A, hindi po natin siya pwedeng ilagay dito. Bakit? Kasi nakatayo siya eh. Pagka nakatayo, saan? Sa tabi. Okay? Next, let's see other compound. Tingnan po natin yung we. U plus o plus i. Tama po ba? Ngayon, paano natin siya na-combine? Ito po, nakahiga. Di ba? So, dito siya sa baba. Next, yung a. Ay, we yung sinasabi ko, di ba? We. Ito po, nakatayo, di ba? So, nakatayo. Yung tamang pattern is left to right, top to bottom, ganyan po ha. And then, i. Kaya po siya naging we. Okay? What we have to remember is, yung pattern lang ng mga characters po natin. Ano nyo po? Naintindihan nyo po ba? Pero kung wala po kayo ng first session po natin, mahirap po. Hindi nyo po maintindihan. Pero syempre, hindi ko po pwedeng ulitin yung first session natin kasi second session na po tayo. Okay po? So, we have to move on. Okay? So, again, clear po tayo sa compound po natin. 11 lang po yan ha. So, pagka alam niyo na po yung 10 na basic vowels and then 11 na compound vowels, after this, kahit anuman Korean character yan, you can now write. Okay? Ngayon, pangalawang session pa lang po tayo. Pag-aaralan po natin lahat ng Korean characters, lahat ng writings. Okay? I will be giving you 3 minutes. Okay, what is that for 3 minutes? 3 minutes to practice writing. Now, important reminder everyone, when you are going to practice, please, hindi lang po yung isusulat nyo. While you are writing, try to think, paano ba yung tamang pattern? Ano po yung tamang pattern? Left to right, top to bottom. Left to right, top to bottom. Time, okay, susulat po natin yung lahat ng compound ha. 11 po yung compound natin ha. And then we will write it only one time. 3 minutes. Time, start, go! Okay, tapos na po ba lahat? Pwede po bang pakita yung mga ginawa niyo para ano? Alright, yan. Okay, nakikita ko. Please show it to me. 5 seconds. Alright. Ah, yes. Yes, yes. Alright. Meron po ako nakikita na meron pong nagsulat din ng consonant at saka yung vowels. Ah, yes. Okay. Wow, ang ganda ha. Alright. Okay po, pwede niyo na po bang ibaba? Ngayon po yung... Ay, sorry. Hindi pala ako nakamic. Okay. Ngayon po yung pinag-aaralan po natin is tamang pagsusulat lang ha. Wala pa tayo sa yung magandang pagsusulat. Pero kayo, ginalingan nyo po maganda na po yung mga sulat ninyo. So, hindi na po natin kailangan ituro yung magandang sulat. I was planning to invite someone na maganda po yung sulat para po... Kasi po ako, hindi naman po sa hindi maganda. Okay? Sakto lang. Okay? Saktong hindi pangit, hindi maganda. Na naintindihan ng lahat. Pero meron pong magandang pagsusulat. Do you want to learn how to write yung maganda? Okay. Next time, hindi po ngayon. So, tapos na po tayo. Hindi po sa class natin ha. Tapos na po tayo sa compound po natin. Ngayon, meron po tayong double. Madali lang po yung double natin. Kasi from the word itself, dinoble mo lang. Para po ako ngayon, sabi nila parang double na daw po yung mukha ko eh. Kasi I gain 10 kilos. Nasa bahay lang po kasi. No? When I first look at my previous YouTube video, sobrang payat po ako ngayon. Siopaw daw. Okay? Anyway, let's get back to our topic. Next class, next session. Double. Meron po tayong double. 5. 5 po yung double natin ha. Madali lang po yung double natin. But, meron pong pronunciation yun eh. Okay? Natatanda nyo po ito. K or G, right? Ang double niya is, okay? And then, meron po tayong left to right, T. And then B. And then, we have, wait lang po ha. Medyo tabingi yung sulat ko pagka naka... Okay. Papakita ko pa rin sa inyo kung paano po isulat pero dahil pagka sinusulat ko dito medyo pangit. Okay? Ito po ay double K. Ito po yun kanina, di ba? So, left to right, top to bottom. Ilalagay lang po natin siya sa tabi. Magiging double na siya. Okay? Ito rin di left to right, top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, left to right. Okay? Yung pinapakita ko po ngayon is yung tamang writing ha, pero hindi po ibig sabihin na ito po yung gagayahin yung sulat, okay? Next is B. Left to right, top to bottom, left to right, top to bottom, left to right. Okay. Next is S. J. Okay. Let's try to practice ha. This is K. As in K-N. Okay. Kumain na po ba kayo? Hindi pa. Hindi pa kayo kumain. Ano yan? Automatic diet. Next. T. Ito po, T. Ito kanina K. Ito po ay T. Ito po ay ta. Okay, let's say meron siyang a ha. Let's say meron po siyang a. Pero wala po talagang aya na. Para lang po natin mabigkas. Okay. Ka. Ta. Next is B po ito, di ba? Pero pagka naging double, pa. Okay. As in, Papa Ketchup. Okay. So, next, S. Sa. Okay. Next is cha. Ngayon, bakit ba merong double? Yun po yung napaka-importanting tanong. Sabi ko po sa inyo kanina, limited lang po yung Korean characters. Tama po ba? We only have very few compared to the other characters. Kaya pagka dito doble po natin siya, there are some pronunciation na wala po dun sa single consonant. Which is, saan po natin siya hanapin? Sa double consonant. Another reason kung bakit meron tayong double is ang Korean character, ang Korean pronunciation is soft, smooth. Hindi po katulad sa Tagalog. Ang Tagalog po is matigas o hindi? Matigas. Di ba po? Matigas. That's why every time that I speak English, many of my friends is telling me, anong accent yan? Kasi matigas din po yung English ko eh. Okay? Siyempre, meron pong iba na maganda po yung English accent nila, English pronunciation nila. But because we are using Tagalog, kaya pati yung English natin medyo... Ganun din po ba kayo? Or ano kayo? American English? For example, I pronounce international. Right? But for English American, international, right? So how do you pronounce? International or international? Meron pang iba, international, ganyan pa nga eh. Matigas na matigas, okay? Ganun din po yung Korean character. Okay? Ang Korean character po is soft. Kung napapakinggan yun po sa kanila, minsan parang matigas, pero yung pronunciation nila is soft. Kaya po meron po tayong double para po sa mga characters na hindi po natin ma-pronounce ng matigas. Let's see if what's the difference. Listen carefully everyone ha. Listen carefully. Ngayon, itatry po natin ito, at saka ito, at saka ito. Yung double, at saka yung single. Okay? Okay po ba? We will repeat after. First, yung double, at saka yung single. O, yung mga single dyan, gaya nyo po ako ha, yung mga single. Double, single. Double, single. Ganyan po tayo ha. Okay? I will pronounce it first. Ka. Ka. Ta. Ta. Pa. Pa. Sa. Sa. Cha. Cha. I want to see all of you. Ipapakita ko po yung bibig ko para po makita po natin how I pronounce it and kung meron pong difference. Ka. Ka. Parehas lang, no? Pero look at the difference. Try to listen. Naririnig niyo po ba ng malinaw? Clear po ba? Okay. Kasi po, kung hindi niyo po ma-differentiate, of course, ngayon, hindi niyo po ako magagaya. Okay? You cannot parang learn the pronunciation right away. Kasi it takes time. No? But if you can differentiate later or sooner, pwede niyo po siyang ma-practice kahit wala ako. Okay? Pero kung hindi niyo pa ma-differentiate ngayon, kahit mag-practice kayo na mag-practice, hindi niyo pa magagawa. Okay? Next, hindi po next. Try po natin ha. Paurong po. Medyo malalim po dating. Okay? Okay na po ba? Ay, hindi niyo naman po nakikita yung bibig ko. Okay, sige, okay lang. Ka. Ka. Ganyan. Okay? Okay. Ka, ka. Ta, ta. Sinusundan niyo po ba ako? Okay. Pa, pa. Sa, sa. Cha, cha. Ha? Let's try to see kung ano po yung mga words na nag-iba dito. Everyone, pagka hindi po natin siya ma-pronounce ng mabuti, mag-iiba po yung meaning. Okay? There are characters and words na ito lang po yung pinopronounce at ito lang po yung pinopronounce. Okay po? Ka is as in kain. Ka, ito po is parang ga. G po talaga siya. Ka. Pero soft ka. Hindi po ga. Okay? Ka. Ka. Ta. As in tatay. Ta. 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 Ano bang ta sa Tagalog? Wala po tayong same or similar na pronunciation pero pwedeng da. Hindi po siya da. Ta. Parang DH. Parang DH. Next is pa. As in papa. Okay? Sa baba is pa. Parang baboy. Ay, sorry. Wag po kayo masaktan. Baboy. Pa. Parang soft. P. BH. Pa. Hindi ba. Pa. Okay? Next is sa. Sa. Parang sayonara. Ay, hindi po yun. Sa. Ano bang same turn? Sa. Basta Tagalog ng sa. Okay? Pero yung sa baba is a little different. Sa. Alam po ninyo kung ano pong difference ng dalawang ito kung gagamitin natin siya as a word. Sa, ibig sabihin, mura. Mura. Ito po, sa, ibig sabihin, bili ka. You buy it. Okay? Kunyari, nagkamali kayo sa pronunciation. What you want to pronounce is, oh, bili ka, pero sinabi mo, mura. Okay? Naintindihan niyo po ba? That's why we have to be exact when it comes to pronunciation. Next is, cha. And then, cha. Parang nagda-down konti yung tone, no? Okay. Cha, cha. Cha, cha. Ito rin, ganun din. Pagka gagamitin natin siya sa word, mag-iiba po yung meaning. Cha, ibig sabihin, maalat. Cha, ibig sabihin, tulog. Okay, sleep na, cha. Oh, chaja, chaja, cha. Okay, tulog na. Okay. Yung cha, maalat. Naintindihan niyo po ba? Kaya po, we have to practice yung pagkakaiba niya. Siyempre ngayon, hindi po natin agad mapapractice. But if you can differentiate, then, mapapractice niyo po siya. I will be calling one student, no? Try po natin. Hello? Sophia, can you open your mic? Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Gayahin mo ako ha. Sabay-sabay, try natin ha.
Yes.
Ka.
Ka. Ka. Ka.
Naririnig niyo ba? Ako,
Mahina.
hindi yung boses niya. Ka.
Ka.
Naka-earphone. Okay, wait. Okay, once again. Ka.
Ka.
Okay, good. Ka.
Ka.
Parang parehas lang eh. Isa pa, okay? Okay? As much as possible, when you are practicing pronunciation, you have to practice loud. No, loud and clear. No? Ka.
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 Parang humina lang boses mo eh. Okay, next tayo ha. Ta.
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 Pa.
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 pa,
sa,
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 cha,
cha,
cha.
cha.
Palapakan po natin. Okay. Okay. I'll be giving you some tips how you practice. Ito po. Okay? First, yung mga hard, yung ano mo, yung double muna. Ipapractice mo muna yung mga double. Ka, ta, pa, sa, cha. Cha, sa, pa, ta, ka. Continuous. Okay? Repeat and repeat. And then, pagka na-practice nyo na, yung sa baba naman. Ka, ta, pa, sa, cha. Cha, sa, pa, ta, ka. Repeat and repeat. Hanggang sa mahasa po yung dila ninyo. Next. Ka, ka, ta, ta, pa, sa, cha, cha. After that, repeat and repeat. And then, vice versa. Cha, cha, sa, pa, ta, ka. Etong papa, meron pong Korean meaning yun eh. Papa meaning busy. Okay, papa. So, yung mga ganito, pwede po natin siyang i-practice vice versa. Una, yung hard, and then yung soft. Then vice versa, yung hard, soft, and then soft, hard, ganito. Okay? Alright, so alam na po natin lahat ng dapat po nating malaman sa may nagpa-practice pa. Okay. So, alam na po natin lahat. Tama po ba? Alam na natin lahat ng basic. Ngayon, ang next step na kailangan po nating i-practice is when we are combining consonant, vowel. Why? Kasi ang dami pong mga student, they know the alphabet, but when it comes to combining, medyo nalilito po sila konti. So, today, we'll be having a short practice of combining the two. Then the next week, we'll be practicing a little more about constructing sentence. Kasi tapos na po tayo sa combining, no? So we'll be giving some words. Ngayon po, hindi po mabilis yung klase natin. Meron lang po tayong konting term, which is once a week lang po tayo nagkikita. Kaya po, para po ma-recap, okay, maalala po natin lahat po ng mga pinag-aaralan po natin, we have to exercise. Hindi po yung exercise yung katawan natin. Exercise, sorry. Exercise po ng Korean class. How? Okay. How? When we are giving some assignments, okay, you have to, meron po ako nakita na they write it parang pang final, okay? Pang finalist. In that way, you can practice more and more. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang po yung natutunan nyo sa class natin, but you are applying right after ng mga pinag-aralan po natin. Then that will give you 2, 3, 4 times na mas effective po yung pag-aaral. So, today din, dahil napag-aralan po natin lahat ng vowels, consonant, compound, doubles, okay na po tayo ngayon dyan. Ngayon naman po is yung pagko-combine. Okay na rin po tayo sa pattern. Okay na ba tayo sa pattern? Yes, we know, but we have to still practice. Okay po ba? So, I prepared PPT here. Yung mga nasa live po, pasensya na po kayo na hindi po yata makakopy dun sa live natin. But, I hope, sa susunod, dito po tayo sa Zoom natin, ha? Okay. Nakikita niyo po ba yung nasa screen? Wait lang po ha. Okay. Bakit hindi nakikita sa live? Wait lang po.
The priest, when you fasted and mourned in the fifth and the seventh months rather, and during those 70 years, did you really fast for me? So, sa Panginoon, I'm just point nagtatanong
So,
sa kanila.
wait lang po konti. I'm still copying. Yung sa ano po natin ngayon sa live, marami po kasi yung kasama natin sa live. I'm trying how we can copy this PPT na ma-live po natin sila. Okay, last. Let me try. Okay, sige, let's continue na lang. Okay, let's continue. Nakikita niyo po ba yung nasa screen? Okay, sige po. So, ito pong lahat pinag-aralan po natin, di ba? So, now we will be practicing this combination. Repeat after me, everyone. This is the practice on how we can understand. Ganito pala siya nako-combine. Okay? After I pronounce, repeat after me. Now, when you are practicing pronunciation, as much as possible, you make it loud and clear, no? Para po ma-exercise yung tongue and yung formation ng ating mouth. Yung mukha ko po, nakikita nyo? Okay, sige po, let's start. Aki. Aki. Aki means baby. Wait. Okay. Continue. Nabi. Nabi. Nabi is butterfly. Next is kami. Okay, look. 'Di ba? O siya, 'di ba? G plus O is ko. Kami. Mori. What is kami? Spider-Man? No, spider lang Okay. And then, mori. Mori. Mori is ulo. Okay? Pero, pagka yung hair, body, karak. Pagka hair na, hair, yung buhok ng ulo natin. Pero pagka mori, ulo. Next, oi. O-I. But when you read it fast, nagiging oi. Okay? Oi is cucumber. Next is moza. Moza. Moza is hat, sombrero. Next is uyu. You. Madali lang, di ba? You, ikaw. Uyu, gatas. Okay? Next is 주사. 주사. 주사 is hindi yung injection na, yung pang-inject. Okay? Next is 그네. 그네. Okay. Tingnan nyo ito. Di ba sabi ko po sa inyo kanina, yung dalawa po yung natin. Okay? Etong, ano po yung kune? Duyan. Tama ba yung duyan? Isa lang yung duyan eh. So, for example, when we are going to change our name into Korean, mostly, pagka merong sa pangalan natin, ang ginagamit po natin ay etong katulad po dun sa kune. Naintindihan nyo? Pagka-specific. Nag-iisa lang yon. Kunyari, ikaw lang yung nag-iisang Charlene. Ikaw lang yung nag-iisang Methel, Hannah. Then, yung dun sa name ninyo is ganitong kune. Kune is tuyan. Next is Mike. Ito po ay Korean English. Sa Korea, wala po kaming mic. So, kung ano pong English ng mic, ganun din po sa amin. But, hindi po namin siya mabigkas ng one syllable. That's why we have to divide it into 3. Ma-i-ke. Okay po ba? So, ayun po yung a, o, u. Next is 야구. 야구. Baseball. 야채. 야채. Tingnan niyo po tong che. Yung niya, gulay. Isa lang po ba yung gulay o maraming gulay? Oh, now you know. A little, no? Nakikita na po natin yung difference, no? Okay, yache is gulay. Next is 여우. 여우. 여우 is fox. Next is 여자. 여자. Okay. 여자 is girl. Okay. 여자. Next is 교회. 교회. Everyone, please repeat after me. Okay. Show me your mouth that you are following with me. Okay. Yes. Very good. Next. 교회 means church. Church. Sa Korea po, iba po, kasi I just discovered this recently. Di ba pagka sinabi sa Philippines, church, simbahan, isa lang yun. But in Korea, pagka sinabi mong church, church ng Christian church. And then there is another church for Catholic church. Okay? In Catholic church, we call it 성당. Okay, wala po dito, but wait lang, paano ba ako mag-message? Okay, nakita niyo po ba? 성당, that is Catholic. Kaya ko po nabanggit kasi marami po Catholics sa Philippines. Baka po pagka sinabi nyo, I'm going to church, isipin nila lahat, yun yung church, no? Pagka Catholic church, 성당. Okay? Next is 요리사. 요리사. Chef or cook. Tagalut. Ano yung chef, no? Next is 휴지. 휴지. Okay. Or tissue. Nowadays, we call it also tissue. But you can call it also 휴지. Okay? 휴지 is, hindi po pwedeng mawala sa kamay ng mga Korean yan. Okay? Alam nyo ba yung mga Korean? sa atin lang to ha. Kasi when I was in Philippines, I saw, ewan ko kung lahat ganun kayo, most of the Philippines, when they wash, when they poo, they use water. Tama po ba? Pero sa Korea, they don't use water. They use tissue. Alam niyo po kung bakit? Kasi po sa Korea malamig. Kaya pagka water yung ginamit mo, mahirap. Okay? Hindi nila matitiis yun. Kaya most of them, they are using, sorry, dapat hindi ko binabanggit yung ganito eh. Okay. Move na tayo ha. So, 주유소. 주유소. 주유소 is, ano ba yan? Gasoline station. Okay? Next, 기차. 기차. 기차 is train. Next is 비누. 비누. 비누 is soap. Okay, sabon. Next, we will practice compound. Kanina, mga basic lang po yung vowels na ginamit po natin. Ngayon naman yung mga compound. Okay? Let's try. Let's go. Kemi. Kemi. Okay, tingnan nyo po yung E niya. Di ba? G plus E. Yung ke na ginamit dito is A plus E. Di ba? Bakit? Kasi maraming langgam. Merong itim na langgam, merong pulang langgam, merong malaking langgam, maliit na langgam. Naintindihan niyo po ba? So, for general, ginagamit po natin yung AI. Pero pagka specific, OE. Naintindihan niyo po ba yung sinasabi kong OE at saka yung AI? Okay. Next, pe. Pe. Okay. Sa Korea po, marami pong ibig sabihin ng pe. Dito po nakasulat is barko. But in another word, ibig sabihin, yes, alam ni Kita, chan. Pero meron ding ibang ibig sabihin. Sino pa nakakalam? Meron pang isang ibig sabihin, taas yung kamay. Yes, nakita ko na eh, nawala yung kamay. Taas ulit yung kamay, si Spencer. Okay.
I think, sir, pair.
Okay, thank you. Alam niyo ba yon? Okay. Ako po kasi dati hindi ko po alam kasi I was just only in the Philippines. Nung pumunta ako dito sa Korea, ay meron palang ganong prutas. Peras. Tama po ba sa Tagalog? Peras? Okay. So, ngayon po is peras season. Tama po ba? Per season. Okay. Sobrang masarap. Sana po if pumunta po kayo sa Korea, matikman niyo po. Next is ke. Ke. Ke is alimango. Pero meron pong ibang ke. Ay, ito po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na iba-iba po yung E natin kasi iba-iba po yung meaning. Ang ibang ke is ito. Ito ay aso naman. Mahilig po ba kayo sa aso? Ito po yung ke. Okay? So, next, Nemo.
강아지.
Repeat after me, Nemo. Okay? Means square or yung box. Okay? Next, 과자. 과자. Okay, G plus wa. Kwa. Okay, 과자 means snack. Okay, merienda. Next, 사과. 사과. Apple. Okay, meron pang ibang meaning. Sino ang nakakalam? Taas kamay. Junedemer. Ang haba naman ng pangalan. Okay.
June, sir, June.
Again?
June. Sagwa is
Okay. Another
Asking
meaning of sagwa is when you
asking forgiveness.
Guys, yes.
Apologize.
Pagka nag-sorry. Pero hindi po ibig sabihin, sorry, sagwa, hindi ganun ha. Hindi po ganun natin ginagamit. Makaisipin nila, okay, give me apple, ganun na. Dito, meron pong term. Sagwa is mag-sorry ka, pang third party. Ibig sabihin, you are not using this word directly. No? When you are describing to say someone na mag-sorry ka, that is the time that we are using sagwa. No? I will differentiate in Tagalog ha. Yung sorry sa Korea is mianhe. Yung mianhe, direct po natin ginagamit yun. For example, kay Dovi. Hello po, Ate Dovi. Nagkamali ako sa kanya. Hello. Ay, hindi hello. Ate, mianhe. But, I want to tell to Dovi. Uy, Dovi, sabihin mo kay Hershey. Wow. Chocolate yung name ha. Sabihin mo kay Hershey. Mag-sorry ka. That is the time that, yeah, Hershey한테 사과해. Kasi pagka sinabi mo mag-sorry ka sa kanya and you are going to use the word 미안해, yeah, Hershey한테 미안하다고 말해. Ang haba. So, when you want to describe or when you want to say na mag-sorry ka sa iba, yun po yung ginagamit nating sagwa. Okay? Dami namang chika. Bilisan natin. Okay. 외투. 외투. Means, wala pong ganun sa Philippines eh. Ano ba tawag doon? Pagka malamig, diba? Yung ginagamit natin pang winter. I forgot it in English. Wetu is sweater. Tama po ba? Sweater? Yung sinusuot natin yung pang winter. Okay?
Jacket.
Next is hewe. Hewe. Hewe is overseas. So someone can ask you, Uy, Kim, uy, Kathleen, have you been to Hewe? Nakapunta ka na ba ng overseas? Uy, balita ko overseas worker ka daw. Hewe, 근로자. Okay, hewe, overseas. Next is waiter. Waiter. Waiter means waiter. Okay? Yung taga-hintay. Hindi po yun taga-serve. Okay? Waiter. Wala din po kaming specific word na waiter. That's why we call this as Konglish. Korea English. Konglish. Next, 궤도. 궤도. Yung orbit, yung solar system. Next, 의사. Diba? Yung 의. 의사. Doctor. 의사. 의사. Next, 의자. 의자 means upuan. Next, 얘기. 얘기 is conversation or talk. Do you want to have talk? Do you want to have conversation? 얘기해. Okay, tell it to me. 얘기. Uy, let's have some talk. 야, 우리 얘기하자. 얘기. Next. 예수. 예수. 자, tingnan nyo Yung ye kanina is yai. Pero ngayon is parehas na ye, pero ito ay yoi. Bakit? Yesu. Isa lang si Jesus. Yesu is Jesus. Right? So we cannot use the general yai. Kasi that is for general, no? Pang plural, pang maramihan. Pero pagka isa is Yesu. Nakapaloob yo, o. Okay? Yesu. Next is 시계. 시계. Time or hindi time, clock, sorry, clock. Or watch. Next is we. Kanina pa natin sinasabi yung we, di ba? We is why. Okay? Next is 돼지. 돼지. 돼지 is baboy. Okay? Next is 무거워. 무거워. Meaning heavy. 무거워. Okay? Next is won. Won. Meaning nanalo. Hindi po ganun yun. Won is Korean currency. Okay? Philippine is peso. Korea is won. Okay? Soon, pag-aaralan din po natin yung mga Korean numbers. Okay? Para alam din po natin kung paano magbilang ng Korean money. Alam nyo po, yung mga married na Korean dito, yung mga Filipino na married sa Korean, hindi daw sila binibigyan ng money. Ang dahilan daw is because they don't know how to use won. Kasi ewan ko kung tama ba yan o hindi, but some of them, ganun po yung case. Some lang hindi lahat. Okay? So, next. 가위. 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 Okay? Meron pong ibang meaning ito, pero hindi na necessary na malaman po ninyo kasi deeper meaning po siya. Kawi means scissor. Hindi cut Okay, scissor. Next is qui. Qui. Qui is tenga. Do you remember yung long time ago, meron pong naging sikat na kanta, Kiyomi? Kiyomi. Hindi ko pa magawan. Hindi naman po kasi ako Kiyomi. Okay, Qui. Remember Qui. Wow, ang dami pala ng vocabulary natin. We still have 10 minutes. Okay, bilisan po natin konti ha. Ready? Kore. Kore is whale. Next, kudu. Kudu is leather shoes or black shoes. Okay, leather or black shoes. Next is tari. Tari means bridge. Pero meron pong ibig sabihin ng tari. Ibang meaning ng tari. Meaning, legs. Wow, haba naman ng tari. Minsan, ang haba naman ng bridge. Or minsan, ang haba naman ng legs. Okay po ba? Dalawa pong meaning ha. Baka po malito kayo kung ano pong sinasabi niyang tari. It depends on the situation or the sentence. Next, toshi. Hindi po siya doshi. Kilala niyo po si Tosan? Okay, meron po kasi iba yung mali yung pronunciation eh. Meron pong do, pero should be to. Can you differentiate what's the difference? Do at saka to. Okay? Same kasi to, okay? Toshi is city. Okay? For example, ano pong city kayo? Quezon, Toshi, hindi po ganun. Shi lang. You will remove to. Kasi ang to, ibig sabihin province. Shi is city. Okay? But now, when you are going to say your city, ako nasa Incheon-shi. Seoul-shi. And then, Quezon-shi. Quezon City. Okay? But when you are going to describe a city, Toshi. That is, parang ano yung katulad lang na kaninang sagwa. Okay? Naintindihan niyo po ba? Shi. Sir, paano po yan? May naririnig akong ano yung sinasabi natin pagka tinatawag natin yung tao. Joshua Shi. Iba naman po yon. Yun po yung double S, yung compound. Yung double kanina. Okay? Yun po ay mas hard. Shi. Ito, she. Kanina, she. So when you are going to pronounce or say the name of a person, Joshua Shi. Hindi she. Okay? Next. Mogi. Mogi is mosquito. Next. Mu. Ano po yon? Mama mu? Hindi po yun ha. Mu is radish. Meron po kaming mu kimchi. Radish kimchi. Pechu kimchi. Pechay kimchi. Okay? So marami po tayong kimchi. Meron ding there are more than 100 kimchi anyway. So saja. Saja is lion. Next is so. So is cow. There's another meaning of so. Meron ba nakakalam? Ibang meaning ng so. Wala nang yata nagtatas na kamay o hindi nyo alam. Ako lang nakakalam. So, okay, secret. Hindi ko sasabihin. Okay, so ibig sabihin, kasi pagka nag-order kayo ng ng food, so, te. Small, big. Okay? Pagka sa mga restaurant, mga coffee, they're asking, so, te. Small or big. Okay? So is small. Okay? When you're ordering chicken, what do you want? So or te? Okay? We are using in many ways this one, so and te. Te is big, so is small. Okay? Next, cha. Cha means ruler. Cha. Meron din ibig sabihin ng cha. Ibang ibig sabihin. Cha. Okay, cha.
Sleep.
Yung every time we are speaking, parang nakasanayan namin, cha. Okay, sige, parang ganito. Cha. 이제 다음 나와서 자. Okay? Okay, sige, parang ganito. Yung cha. Okay, mostly, more on conversation or mga class, katulad ng ginagawa natin. Next is chido. Chido is map. Okay, hindi po globe ba? Chido is map. Next is 노래. I know everyone, you know 노래 kasi you like music. 노래 is music, song. Next is 나무. Next is ribbon. Sorry, hindi ko nasabi yung namu. Namu is tree. Okay? Ribbon is ibon. Hindi po yun. Ribbon is as it is, ribbon. Okay? Next is sorry. Sorry is I'm sorry. No. Sorry is sound. Okay, sorry 들려요? Sorry. Do you hear me? Can you hear the sound? Sorry. Okay. Next is P. P is the legendary actor Rain. Hindi po yun. Kapangalan lang po ha. P ibig sabihin ay rain. Okay. It's raining. Okay. P. Okay. Next. Kilala niyo po ba si P? Hindi niyo po kilala sa Full House. Even now in Korea, he is, although matanda na, pogi pa rin. Okay? Next is 바다. 바다 is beach. Sea. Dagat. Okay? Beach. Next is 오리. Ori is duck. Okay, next is 우표. Next is 치마. 치마 is 빨다. Next is 초. 초 is candle. Hindi po pangalan ko ha. Yung pangalan ko is, sa Korea talaga is Cho. Pero, yung po yung nakasulat sa passport ko, that's why I write it as Cho. I don't know if I like that. Okay? Some of them Choi. Some of them Cho. Ako po ay Cho. Ito po ay Cho. Candle. 10 o'clock na pero may natira pang vocabulary. What do you want? Continue or tapusin? Continue or tapusin? Tapusin na natin? Kung tapusin na, ganito. Ganito kayo. Tapusin na. Until here? Okay. Until here na lang. Okay. Last na po ito ha. Last, we will finish now. Next is ko.
Sir, nawala ka.
Ko. Ko is nose. Next, 코끼리. 코끼리 is elephant. Okay, dahil yung elephant, mahaba yung ko. Dito po nanggaling yung elephant word. Okay, next is piri. A kind of instrument na parang flute. Next is podo. Podo is grape. Next is 꼬리. 꼬리 is buntot. Next is 토끼. Everyone, tingnan nyo po yung mga pronunciation na pinapractice po natin, yung mga character, yung consonant vowels. Okay? We are practicing yung pronunciation at the same time how it is combined. Okay? Next is, 토끼 is rabbit. Yes, tama. Rabbit. Next is popo. Popo is kiss. Pero ito pong popo, ibig sabihin is, sa Korea, popo is ginagamit lang ng mga bata. Okay, kunyari yung sa anak natin, sa nanay natin, no? O popo popo. Popo is parang, ano ba yan? Smack, kiss. Pero yung kiss talaga is same. Kiss. Okay? Huwag niyo sabihin ako yung nagturo na na. Anyway, popo. Popo is kiss na ginagamit yung pang mga bata, pang cute term. Okay, mga bata, mga baby. O, popo hajima, oy, wag mong i-kiss. Parang ganito. Okay? We use the different term para maliwanag yung usapan. Okay? Next is puri. Puri. Puri is ugat. Next is jjigae. Jjigae. Jjigae is soup. Kimchi jjigae. Kimchi soup. 된장찌개, 된장 soup. sinigang-찌개. Okay. adobong-찌개. Okay.
Sige.
So, next is 짜증. 짜증. 짜증 is angry. 짜증나. Nainis na ako 짜증나. Okay. I'm angry, I'm mad. Haba-haba naman ng turo ni Sir Joshua. 짜증나. Pwedeng ganun. Okay. Ang init-init naman dito. 짜증나. Next. 타조. 타조 is ostrich. Next is tomato. Tomato. Next. Tomato is tomato. Same. hama. Hama. Hama is hippopotamus. Tama po ba? Okay. Next is he. He, ibig sabihin, ewan ko sa'yo, hindi ganun yun He, ibig sabihin, araw. But there's another meaning. He is, do it. Do you know the motto of Nike? Just do it. Sa Korea po is, 그냥 해. Okay. Just do it. 그냥 해. Sir, paano po yan? Paano yung ganito? Paano isulat yung ganito? 그냥 해. Okay, yung mga matitigas na ulo, yung mga anak po natin, pengyo po, hindi ko po alam yung ganyan, itulungan mo, 그냥 해. Just do it. Sir, paano po yung ganito? Hindi ko po pwede pong patulot, 그냥 해. Okay, just do it, 해. Same po yun as araw, and then just do it. Next is 허리띠. 허리띠. 허리 means bewang, waist. T means tali. Kaya 허리띠 is, ibig sabihin, belt. 머리띠, ibig sabihin, tali para sa ulo. Okay? 허리띠. 머리띠. Ano pang may tali? Okay? Basta lahat ng T, pang tali. Okay? Next is, 쓰레기. 쓰레기. 쓰레기 is, basura. 쓰레기. 쓰레기. Kaya po yung mga Koreans, pagka ayaw nila sa, 쓰레기. Ay, basura to. Ay, sorry po Wag po kayong gayahin yung ganun Okay, 쓰레기. Okay, 잘했어요. Meron pang
Wala
isa.
pa po sa abok.
Meron pang isa, she. She. Okay, yung sinabi ko po kanina, di ba, meron po tayong Joshua, she. But, this time, we are going to use as, ano ba yan? Seed. Seed. Ano yun sa Tagalog? Buto. Okay? Pangtanim. She. Okay? 사과 씨, 망고 씨, 바나나 씨, mga ganito. Okay? Wow. Okay. Until here. Everyone, nag-enjoy po ba kayo sa ating class for today?
Opo.
Okay po. Don't need to open your mic. It's been 1 week na hindi po tayo nagkita. No? Pero parang isang buwan na tayong hindi nagkita, no? Kasi ang haba ng isang linggong hindi pagkikita. Kaya I hope let's communicate and interact always. Not in group chat, in our activities. Okay, show us, show me, show your classmate. Yeah, we are tiger. We are no longer rabbit. We can do it. Where does it start from? In changing our mind. You know, in this Korean class, I want to share all of the things that I would like you to know. Not as a Korean, but as like any other person like Filipino. Bilang isang Pilipino, I want to give all the knowledge, all the background, all the history, all the things that I know with you. Yung iba po kasi kung klase lang. Korean lang. But, hindi po kasi sapat yun eh. Okay, sabi nila, ikaw lang sapat na. Hindi po ganun yun ha. Hindi lang ikaw sapat na, but you have to know not only the language, not only the history, but the mindset also. Mindset is the very first one why Korea became very progressive. Yung kimchi, hindi po basta-basta naging famous food ang kimchi. Meron pong dahilan. Yung BTS, hindi po sila naging top 1 agad. Kaya po sila naging BTS. Yung first debut po nila, hindi po sila kagad nag-trending. Yung Korea, hindi po agad-agad naging mayaman. But, on the other hand, marami pong mga successful person in Korea, like mga artista, mga mayor, president, they are rich, they are beautiful, they have everything, but on the other hand, Korea is number 1 also in suicide rate. Yung mga ganitong I want to share it with you para maintindihan po natin the whole story. Ngayon, nasa Pilipinas pa lang kayo, but you are already learning everything about Korea. So, yung Korean class natin is, ano ba yun, package. No? So, naintindihan niyo po ba? I hope na in this 2 hour class, you really enjoyed. Although mahaba po yung term natin, pero meron din po tayong time na about Korean background, no, about mindset, culture, language, tapos konting chika-chika para hindi po maboring, no? Nag-enjoy naman po ba kayo? Yes. Now,
Opo.
this time, before we end our class, we will be having group picture. And then we will be posting this in our Facebook page. Para po, kasama ako ni Sir Joshua sa Korean class namin. Okay? So, since marami po tayo, bilisan po natin yung pagpipicture natin. Okay? Open your cameras, everyone. Pero okay lang din kung hindi nyo po gusto i-open yung camera. It's your choice. But if you want to be together with us, together with me, show us your beautiful faces. Ready? 1, 2. Gayahin nyo po ako ha. Set. Okay. Let's wait about 10 seconds kasi we are more or less 400 students. So, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱. Okay, okay na po ba yung mga nagpipicture sa atin? Okay. Salamat po. Another pose. Another pose is 사랑해. Okay, 사랑해. Heart. Nowadays, they are using the word 보라해. Kasi, naintindihan niyo ba yung he? Okay, from our lesson a while ago, he, sarang is root word. No? Ito yung basic word. Sarang is love. He is do love. Okay? 사랑해. 그냥 해. Okay? Guess niyo po ba? 보라 해. Okay, everyone. 보라 해. Okay. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, more. Alright. Tapos na po ba? Lapit natin konti pa para makita po na mabuti yung heart natin. Alright. Yung pinakamagandang heart. Kasi yung iba hindi naman heart yung shape eh. Okay. I can see everyone. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Sa inyong pakikisama. I hope that in our next class, no? And then, this month is, December na. Malapit na yung Christmas. malapit na yung New Year, malapit na yung 2021. Although, in this year 2020, marami po tayong napagdaan ng difficulties, marami pong trahedya, no? Not only in the Philippines, but in the whole world, especially during the pandemic. Hindi lang pandemic, kundi yung mga bagyo. Ang dami nangyari, di ba? And then, there are a lot of people we lost in our life. Yung mga sikat na paborito po nating mga tao, like Kobe. I'm a fan of Kobe. Sorry po, I mentioned about him. Anyway, not only him, but a lot of person, right? So, I hope, even if marami po tayong na-experience in this 2020, I hope that we can end this year with full of joy, happiness, and hope that we can face in our next year. Kita-kita po tayo next week. And then after this, please share your story. Kasi konti lang po yung nagme-message, nagko-comment dun sa ating page. You know, after this, I'm always checking, okay, sino ba yung nagme-message? And then sometimes, I'm going to your Facebook, okay? I'm checking sometimes in your Instagram, pero naka-private kayo, hindi ko na nakita. O sige, next time naka-private yan eh. Ibang tao na na, okay? I'm checking every one of you. Although, no, even full yung schedule natin, hectic po tayo, but every time that I have time, I'm checking one by one. Ginagawa niya ba yung assignment? Or she's following well? Kasi nagpo-post po doon sa timeline nila, nagpaparamdam eh. Ay, ito yung ginawa ko. Ay, ganito yung ano ko. Okay? So, I hope na magkaroon po tayo ng interaction, communication, not in our group chat. Okay, group chat is for our announcement, no, for our yung mga important messages, but for our interaction, communication, we will be uploading. Marami po tayong assignment this week. So, ready po yan. Pagka sinabi, sir, bakit ang daming assignment? Kunyang, okay, everyone. Just do it. So, marami pong salamat until here, and then kita-kita po tayo next week. Bye-bye!
감사합니다, 선생님.
감사합니다.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. 감사합니다. 안녕히 가세요. 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
Kamida!
감사합니다. 고마워요. 고마워.